What's up, guys? This is Dan Wilson, and you're listening to the ddon.life podcast. We're doing 365 days of podcasting, which means we are putting out a new episode every single day. So today is February 26th. We're going to put out a new episode every day until February 26th of 2019. This is my second attempt at 365 days of podcasting, and I feel okay about that because I recently got back from a road trip, a 3-week road trip. It was only supposed to be a 2-week road trip, ended up being a 3-week road trip, and I came back feeling amazing. I feel so good. I have a total paradigm shift in my mind, and it was probably many things. Let's just call it was the road trip. But then when we look at like what happened on the road trip, many different things happened that make me feel amazing and great right now. One of the things I feel lucky for is that I came back to Minneapolis yesterday, and it was completely sunny out. Today was completely sunny, not cold. I did a appraisal inspection, and there was some deep snow, and I got some snow in my boot, but that wasn't a big deal. Overall, I was wearing some new sunglasses. They're actually Ken's old sunglasses. Ken and I have a very similar prescription with our glasses, so it's easy for him and I to mix up glasses sometimes. Anyways, his prescription sunglasses ended up in my car, and I was very fortunate for, because I lost my glasses, my brand new glasses, brand new prescription glasses. I lost somewhere on a hike somewhere in Sedona. So I didn't have a pair of prescription glasses for the road trip home, which sucked because I can't see shit, especially at night. During the day, it's fine. The biggest problem is that if I get pulled over, and where's your glasses? Anyways, I found Ken's prescription sunglasses in the back of my car, which ended up working out great. So I've been wearing those ever since I found them. They're great in the sunshine, especially when if I'm appraising a white house in snow on a sunny day. It can get very blinding looking at all of that shiny white. So when I use my laser measuring tool, it's just like a laser pointer that you bounce it off something, and it will tell you how far away you are from the thing you're bouncing it off of. So we use those to measure the house when we're doing an appraisal inspection. And sometimes that can be very hard to see when it's bright and there's a lot of snow and you're doing a white house and it's, the sun's out. Causes it to be way too bright, and it actually brings tears to my eyes sometimes just because it's so bright and shiny, and it can be difficult. Anyways, sunglasses great for this occasion. So we're doing 365 days of podcasting. We're starting it up today. I have a fresh perspective. I think I was doing a lot of things right pre-road trip. A lot of things I was doing right. And it took me a long time to figure out what are the right things to do. There was still, however, a lot of things I was doing wrong. And there's going to continue to be things that I do wrong. As I get older, as I learn more, we'll try to do more right. But there's always going to be some wrong, and it is our goal to squash those things and get them right. I think overall, my main problem was, and I learned this. I came to this conclusion very recently, but ever since I came to this conclusion, it's been night and day difference. I was putting out the wrong vibe. I was putting out the wrong vibration. I was emitting the wrong frequency. So I was putting out the wrong vibe, which means my brain was fucked. My thinking was fucked. I wasn't controlling my thoughts. I was not controlling my thoughts. And now it's crystal clear to me because I look back at what I was doing and it was so obvious that yes, I wasn't controlling my thoughts. And everything begins in your thoughts. I'm not saying that the only thing you need are good thoughts, but if you're going to take proper action, that it begins with the right thinking. So I mean, that makes sense, right? You have to, before you take action, something has to be happening inside your brain telling you what to do, what action to take. So I think, but it's even more than that. I think I was putting off the wrong vibe. You know what I'm saying? So like subconsciously, I think other people can feel it. And I think that I was just asking the universe for more of that bad vibe. I was just asking the universe for more of the same thing that I thought was making me unhappy, which is what I was focusing on, the things that make me unhappy, not focusing on the things that make me happy, thinking about what I want, thinking about what I have and what I want. Instead, I was thinking about what I don't have and how shitty that makes me feel. And I focus on it and dwell on it and blame other people for it. And I got caught in this loop of doing that. And the effect was I was putting out the wrong vibe. I was putting out a vibe that would cause people to, and this is just my guess, but let's look at the real life results. I was putting out a vibe that made the people I was interacting with say, "Yeah, I don't want to talk to this guy. He's unhappy. Something is wrong. Something is off with him. Let's not talk to him because he's not inviting us in to talk. He's not happy. He's very emo-y almost. You know, I think that's what the vibe, because what was going on inside my head was just focusing on what I don't have, the things that are in the situation that I'm in that I don't like. I was just dwelling on it, focusing on it. And it was it was causing me to put out the wrong vibe, the wrong frequency. So when I look back at that, and when I realized that, and then I looked back at what I was doing, it was so obvious. Like, that is so obviously what I was doing. And I didn't come to this realization on my own. Over the past here's the thing about road trips. This is, and I'll go into my experience over the past 3 weeks, because partially I went on the road trip because I was looking for some inspiration. I wanted to just break up my routine completely, just throw a wrench in it and break it up and be put in completely new situations, in a completely new place, meet completely new people. At the end of the last week and a half, I was on my own for most of it. So it was like I had to do it all for myself. That was the first time in my life where I was ever just by myself in a place for that long. And that's what I wanted, because I've never experienced it before. And I had a sneaking suspicion that it would bring me the change that I was looking for. I was looking for change, and I thought I was looking for a change in environment, a change in place or location. That's what I thought I needed. But after doing that amazing change in a location and change in environment and going somewhere else, I realized that I just needed a change in my thinking. It was simply a change in my thinking that is what I needed to do. That was the problem. Now, don't get me wrong. I love where I went. I want to go back. I want a lot more of that in my life. The point I'm trying to make is that when I'm sending out those bad vibes because I wasn't controlling my thinking, I wasn't staying positive, I wasn't focusing on what I want and focusing on what I want to create, I wasn't thinking about those things. I was thinking about what I didn't have and how I don't have that. And I was dwelling on what I don't have, not looking at it like, oh, I already have these things that I want. It just hasn't happened yet. So it's a big difference, focusing on what you don't have, focusing on how unhappy you are, and then ultimately blaming other people for it, when all you need is a little paradigm shift to start controlling your thinking and say, I'm going to spend more time thinking about what I want to create, envisioning what I want to create, using tools like a pen and paper to write it down. So what I did, one of the things I did is I bought 2 notebooks. I have them here in my hand. I got them at the co-op because I didn't want just like a boring notebook. I wanted like a little art piece. So when I see my notebook sitting on the table, it looks like a little art piece. It doesn't just look like, like a notebook that you would get at school. It looks like a little art piece. So I like looking at it, and it makes me want to open it up and write in it. And my whole life, I'll have these great ideas, and I'll have all this inspiration, but I never write it down. So one of the tricks I learned, I think it was from Duncan Trussell, I heard him say it, but he was talking about doing it on a mushroom trip, but I think you can do it. I've heard other people say this as well. I just don't remember who. You put little cool notebooks everywhere throughout the house. You can have your main one that you carry with you in your backpack, but like have one next to your bed with a pen, so that when you wake up from a dream, you can write down what you dreamt about, to keep the dream diary. Because for me, even if I'm not asleep, just if I'm laying in bed, like I just woke up, let's say it's 6 a.m, I'm laying in bed, but I just woke up, things are racing through my mind. Great ideas, things that I need to get done that I forgot about. Do I write them down? No, I never write them down. So that's going to change. That's one thing that I'm really going to try to change, is start writing things down. And then why? Why write it down? It's like, why write it down? First of all, writing it down, you create neural pathways when you write it down. So that's good. More neural pathways for associated with an idea. I think that's a good thing. Also, you go back and read it. So I'm going to look what I wrote. I'm going to do that because that's going to put me back into that thinking where the good thinking, where I'm controlling my thinking. So when I have a good idea, I want to focus more time thinking about those good ideas. Because if I'm thinking about those good ideas, then I can take action to make those ideas come true. So I want to spend more time controlling my thoughts. So I'm going to write my good ideas down when they come, and then I'm going to keep addressing them. I'm going to keep going back to my notebook and reading them, because like the day gets hard. I do one appraisal file. I'm starting to get tired. I just want to nap. I don't want to take any action. But the hope is that that's okay. The day is going to make you tired. And maybe I should just, I did take a nap and I felt better about it. But what I'm going to do is go back to my notebook and try to read what I was thinking when I was feeling really good, thinking about the things that I want to think about, thinking about the things that I know represent the highest version of myself. And that's creation. Anything having to do with creation, ultimately, I think, is the highest thing, the highest act that we can do as human beings, because it's that very unique, and I've blabbled about this before, it's that very unique ability that humans have, where you can visualize something inside your head when it doesn't exist in reality, and then you can manifest it into reality. So you have art. This is what artists do. I think, this is what a lot visionaries, inventors do. Artists, they visualize something in their head before it exists, and then they create it. So it's a very special thing that I think only human beings can do. Obviously, if there's higher intelligent ETs, I'm sure they can do that as well. But as far as I know, humans are the only Earthling that can do this amazing visualize then create thing. I feel like I was gonna bring it back around somehow. I'm at it. I totally forgot. I lost my train of thought. This is a good place to stop. If you're listening to this and you know what I was talking about and I didn't finish and you want me to finish, send me an email it's ddon.lifepodcast@gmail.com. So it's DDON period LIFEPODCAST@gmail.com. Okay, so send me an email, and if you realize that I forgot something, and I'll pick up on it on the next episode. Thanks for listening, guys. We're back. 365 days of podcasting. This is Dan Wilson, ddon.life. We're gonna do the blog. I have to update my ddon.life. What do you call that? A domain name. Otherwise, it expires, and I have 2 days to do that. So I'm gonna get on it. We're gonna start using the website again. Why? Because I'm feeling good, and I'm gonna stay feeling good because I'm gonna control my thoughts.